Hello, and welcome to Game 3 of the draft event with the almost all Tempest deck, a little bit of Nekrium. So if you've watched my previous draft videos, you know that I always go 2-1 in the drafts that I record. So I expect to lose this game. Ika Mouse is actually a player who I've never played against before, but we have communicated on the forums. An active and respected member of the community. So I like seeing Scrapforged Titan on turn 1. My opponent is going to try to win this game by stalling out until late game. With my very aggressive deck, I'm happy to see my opponent try to stall out, and I'd like to think that I can get the kill before Scrapforged Titan 3 becomes an issue. Because of this, I don't hesitate to play out Stormcaller. Want to get the biggest bodies out early if my opponent's going for a late game strategy. Then the question is whether I ignore Scrapforged Titan and play Glutton, or whether I use a Magma Hound to kill the Scrapforged Titan. I think the reason to use the Magma Hound is if I'm concerned that my opponent might be able to sacrifice Scrapforged Titan to some effect. I don't know what my opponent is playing, but there's enough Nekrium cards that, like a Grave Pact, I really don't want to see him like Grave Pact the Stormcaller essentially for free. So, and I'm very happy to have my Magma Hound leveled up. So, yeah, I think that was the right play. Playing a Glutton also would not have been bad. In this situation, probably going to play the Mystic. I think Mystic to put pressure on a deck that's going a little bit slower, like my opponent's Scrapforged deck, a little bit of a slower deck. Mystic is good at putting on pressure. If he puts something in front of my Magma Hound that's going to, he's going to actually just immediately get the good trade on the Magma Hound. Interesting. So then, wasn't quite what I expected. So I do think I want to play a Magma Hound of my own. I could level Windcaller Shaman because Windcaller is a good thing to level, and I can get a favorable trade off of his Mystic. Other option would be to toss a Volcanic Giant in front of his Mystic. I'd kind of like to play around Magma Hound. He could toss a Magma Hound into lane 1, and so I don't really want to have a creature sitting around at low health. Maybe I toss the Stormcaller in front of his Mystic just because I want to end this game as quickly as possible. I bet that's the play. Yeah, I think the play is probably just to try to finish this off as quickly as possible by using the biggest creatures I have available. He probably isn't going to be able to answer all 3 of my creatures, which means I probably get 8 damage through, which makes me happy. This is... he has his own Stormcaller. So actually, this is a very good strategy in a relatively slow deck that wants to win with Titan. Having creatures like Stormcaller to help you survive the early game is very, very useful. Some people neglect to put in those type of creatures when they build their late game decks, and they can get run over by the type of deck I'm playing. But my opponent, my opponent played well in that respect. Could toss out Cinderfist Brawler. I think. I want to toss out a Cinderfist Brawler. Warbringer can trade with the Stormcaller and also get a little bit of extra damage through. That's not a bad option. Yeah. So the Warbringer allows me to get a trade. Otherwise, I take 8 damage. Taking 8 damage isn't bad at this point, but I'm a little bit concerned about... yeah, I'm a little bit concerned about what else he has available. Let's do... I've leveled up the Flame Shaper before. Haven't actually gotten out Flame Shaper 2 in any of my matches. This might be an opportunity to use Flame Shaper. Possible that I should have, instead of putting out the Warbringer, it's possible I should have put out the Rhymehorn Charger or some other creature into an empty lane and just taken the 8 damage to have 1 extra threat on the board. Then I could have used the Flame Shaper this turn to trade with the Stormcaller. Again, I'm not sure what was better. Again, in a race situation, having the Warbringer leveled up to be able to get extra damage through later on. Interesting. That was painful. Sonic Pulse, a good stall card. Fortunately for me, Sonic Pulse doesn't level up very well. And so... let's do Predator and Flame Shaper. Sonic Pulse doesn't level up very well, and so... ouch. This is not the draw I wanted at the beginning of Player Rank 2. But because Sonic Pulse doesn't level up so well, it's nice to see him spend one of his precious level up opportunities on Sonic Pulse. I'm ahead slightly on the board, but not as far ahead as I would like to be, considering that my opponent has a Scrapforged Titan that is... essentially, leveling his Scrapforged Titan puts me on a clock. It's only a matter of time before he draws Scrapforged 3, and I need to have him at very low health before that happens. So I've leveled the Water Walker here. Not excited about that play, but didn't really have any other good options. Oh, this isn't bad. Might be able to use the if he blocks the Water Walker, I might be able to use the Warbringer to get a even trade with the Water Walker and whatever he blocks it with. He's fairly likely to block it with a high health creature to protect his life. So, probably my play here is to play my 2 level 2 creatures. And move the Rhymehorn Charger into an empty lane, hit him for 5. Apparently, plays a Metamind Adept, tries to draw something useful. Static Shock. And Lightning Spark. Okay, that isn't bad. So now, actually have options here. So, I can just take the favorable trade with the Metamind. If I take the favorable trade with the Metamind, then I probably put out my Predator somewhere else. Or I could take the 5 damage against him, maybe even play the Aronti and take 12 damage. I think that looks appealing, actually. I'm going to move over the Rhymehorn Charger. His 5/4 is really not something that I'm at all scared of, so I am going to take the 13 damage because I can't add. 5 plus 8 is 13. And now I can just block the Metamind Adept at my leisure. Now I'm probably looking to play the Mystic and either probably the Mystic and the Stormcaller. The Avatar wouldn't be a bad play here either. We'll see what he does. Uses the Windcaller Shaman. Interesting. Does he have like a Magma Hound? No. That's... we're going to get an even trade of the Stormcallers in lane 1. Rhymehorn Charger moves into an empty lane to get damage through. Mystic moves into an empty lane to get damage through. And then I think I play the... oh, idiot. If I were going to play the Stormforged Avatar, I should have played it before I played my Mystic. But Stormcaller is a very reasonable play, so... get 18 damage through. It's possible that I wanted the Avatar. The reason that the Avatar might have been a better play is because, it was more like, So, anyway, Ika not drawing well during player rank 2, which certainly hurt. In particular, apparently didn't get the Scrapforged Titan that he was looking for. Any case, looks like I actually managed to 3-0 this draft, and hope you enjoyed these videos. On the whole, I think the almost mono-Tempys thing worked pretty well. I didn't get a lot of use out of my Predators, but in several games the Predators were able to serve as removal magnets. That is, pressured my opponent to play a card that they might not otherwise have played just to get the Predator out of the way, and allowed me to get through a little more damage in another lane. That's one of the nice things about Predator and similar cards like Mystic that has the potential to grow, is you can sometimes force your opponent to make plays they wouldn't otherwise make just to deal with the threatening card. But anyway, yeah, hope you enjoyed the draft videos, and hope to see you again soon.